my name is Kitana Oduardo, and today I will be presenting scene design for the musical Little Shop of Horrors. The piece for this song is Dadu by Alan Menken. Lyrics are by Alan Menken as well. This piece is asterisked for death and violence. If you are offended by any of these, please exit the video now. Thank you. And I proudly represent, for the last time, Troop 7336. So first, I will be starting off by giving a small summary of the show for those of you that don't know it. So, Little Shop of Horrors is a horror comedy musical. The story is about a florist shop worker named Seymour Crawborn who comes upon a pretty unusual plant. Seymour finds out that Audrey 2 lives on human blood to survive. Audrey 2 promises limitless fame and fortune to Seymour if he keeps feeding him. But he later on finds out that Audrey 2 has a plan to dominate the world. Pretty crazy, I know that. So I also have a short summary for the song Dadu as well. The song Dadu shows the meeting of Audrey and Seymour and possibly the end. I chose the song Dadu because it tells the beginning of how Seymour got Audrey 2. I've also watched multiple theaters and shows that have performed Little Shop of Horrors, but for the scene Dadu, I haven't seen a visual representation of what's actually happening in the song. It's always just Seymour talking about how he got Audrey 2, but I think that visual representation of this song is very important, but also really cool to show. Now I'm going to be showing a small PowerPoint. You will see that on the screen now. So for the measurements of my project, the scale I used is 1/2 inch equals 1 foot. All the measurements are on the screen now. Feel free to pause the video to look at this information. The next slide is my bibliography. This shows all the resources I used. I have 2 slides, so feel free to pause. This is my next slide of resources. So the next slide, not scene, is my scene log. So I made this scene log because in real theater, usually text would make a log of all the cues. This shows the cues of the curtains, the lights, and also the movements and the music. And I think it's really important to show the text and also the director a simple version of everything that goes on stage at that moment. So the next slide is my process pictures. To the right is some plants that I was making in the counter. The next slide is my another process picture. To the left is the making of Audrey 2 and also the cashier. To the right is some more completed plans, the cashier and also Audrey 2. Here's another slide of process pictures. To the left is Audrey 2 not yet made, and then to the right and also the middle, Audrey 2 has been fully done. And I think she looks really great. Okay, so this is my original sketch. This next slide. Some things have changed with my original sketch compared to the set. This next slide is my 3D model. I made also this 3D model in tie with my original sketch because I think it shows the color coordination and also if props work well together and if they look together, and if they don't, I can always take something out. So the slide you are looking at right now is the room on the stage. This is the actual shop. In that wooden table in front, Audrey 2 will be sitting there later on into the scene. This is a more close-up version of the picture that I showed before. This other slide is also the left side, a closer version so you guys can see the details. Just by the way, all of this art and the 3D model is made by me. Now I'm going to be explaining about the background, the lights, and also the movement of the set as well. So leading up to the song Dadu, Seymour and Mushnick are in Mushnick's flower shop talking about the exotic plant Seymour brought in. So a customer comes in and asks where did Seymour get it. The Mushnick set then moves off stage and there is a total blackout, so completely black. So at that time, the audience hears, well, do you remember that total eclipse of the sun a couple weeks ago? Seymour says that line. Then the Dadu, at that time, the Dadu set will be moving on stage when he says that. There's also one line in the song as well where it'll be in the blackout, so they'll definitely have enough time to move on. So I'll show you the movement right now. So the back wall will be behind the curtains. There we go. So it's kind of covered. And the two side walls will be in the middle wings as well. The cashier will be off stage. The table will be off stage, along with Audrey too, as well. All right, so they're now all off stage. So basically how it's gonna move is the back wall behind the curtain moves first. Give me one moment. Here we go. So it'll move up like just a little bit, not too much from the back. And that'll also show the background of the scene as well. So this is in an outdoor flower shop, an outdoor flower market. So this whole thing is outside. Here we go. And then the set walls will be moving from the right and left middle wings. All of these will be on wheels, so it'll definitely be a lot easier to move than this. Also, the walls are like angled out, so the audience from the sides will be able to see as well. And the cashier will be on wheels, so this will be brought on by separate tags, placed right here, as well as the table will be on wheels as well. Okay, cool. So that was basically the movement of the sets. So basically then after, the stage lights will come back on, and then Seymour walks through the door. Let's pretend that's him. He walks through the door and the song Dadu starts. Also, along with that, there's the lighting of the scene. So the lighting in the scene will be like regular, no colors, except for when Audrey 2 shows up in the song. So at the beginning of the song, Seymour is looking around for anything interesting, maybe. So he basically walks through the door, like I said, looks around the shop, but he's about to leave when Audrey 2 makes an appearance. So Audrey 2 will basically be brought on by like a separate tech. Here, look, she's so cute. So here we go. It'll be brought on by a separate tech and it'll be placed on the table right there. So when Audrey 2 makes the appearance, the sights and the strip lights will flash green twice. And this scene, the lighting of the scene refers back to when Seymour says, do you remember that total eclipse of the sun a couple weeks ago? So the lights flashing green will be the eclipse that they saw. For this scene, I really want the audience to be immersed. So this will definitely bring like a pop to it, which is really cool. Here is a close-up of the set. This is the table where Audrey 2 appears in the song. I also added like household items like pots, pans, and canned food because in the shop, the owner is a Chinese man, and usually in Asian stores, they sell not only just food, but also like household items as well. So here's the door that Seymour walks through. And I also, this is still a flower shop, so I added like a variety of like different types of plants as well. And that's a more close-up of the background. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.